pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right.
Hi, my name is Ellie Akers. I'm the daughter of Angie and Jake Akers. I'm a junior at the Marion County High School, and closing off this school year, we are finishing up with finals. We started them yesterday, and we're going to finish up tomorrow. And then another thing that's been going on is I just got accepted to be the president of our local Skills USA program.
My name is Kenneth Lanham, son. Let's fix that real quick. Son of Patrick Lanham and Amanda Lanham. And even though the school year is closing, we are still looking forward to next school year. A lot of our clubs are already preparing for what comes next. For example, our Beta Club. We are going to nationals this summer. All 5 of our online test takers have placed top 20 in the nation.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. We thank the board for your continued support of the Student Ambassadors Program. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you. All right. Moving on to item 3. 3A is public comment. Do we have anyone here? Okay. And then 3B is our superintendent report.
Okay. Our superintendent report is going to be a little bit shorter this evening just because we have a larger presentation about our academic scorecard. But there are several things I want to talk about tonight. Number one is Lebanon Elementary School. I know people are anxiously awaiting where we are with that. So I will say, and Scott can back me up on this, we've had a busy last month with LES. We've had numerous meetings. I told the architects, they gave me a preliminary schedule, and I said, I need you to be aggressive. And they said, well, Mr. Brady, we already have been. And I said, then I need you to take it back and be overly aggressive. So we have condensed some meetings. We are using some of our information that we already had used previously. And by that, I mean our survey for LES and some of our input that we had already gotten from stakeholders. So a lot of that work had already been done when the planning for the renovation was taking place. So we were able to reutilize the site survey as well. So we've been able to use some of that information. We've condensed some of the meetings. So we think conservatively at this point that we've trimmed about 2 months off the schedule. Our hope is that that would be a fall to late fall bid, which initially they had said it could be spring. So again, very pleased with how the work's taking place with that building, and we are moving as expeditiously as possible. Student success, so both middle schools reached their goals through the access to algebra, and I know we had a lot of happy faces when those students received their check. So LMS recognized students who met their goals recently, and then I believe Marion Middle did that today. So again, lots of students with lots of smiles on their faces, so congratulations to them. So sophomore Grace Hamilton has been selected to the Gatton Academy for Math and Science. We just found this out, so we'll ask her if she wants to attend the June board meeting, but did want to make sure that people knew that, so congratulations to her. So some of our peak moments, Lebanon Elementary students in Mrs. Pierce's class created fossil imprints as paleontologists, so you can see some of the pictures there. Elementary schools recently held the Boys and Girls Field Day events. That was earlier this week. Project Lead the Way had their capstone projects, and the community members and school administrators attended that. They did a fantastic job. I had the good fortune of being part of that, and it was awesome to see what those students in that class learned and how they applied that to develop a product that even, I think they said there are 2 that could potentially go to market one day. Elementary students had artwork on display at the public library as part of their district art show. So if you had an opportunity to see that, there was a lot of fantastic artwork on display. So magician David Garrett recently visited West Marion for a pep rally. And then you can see the blue banner there that was unveiled for last year's KSA results. So Sarah Hutchins and Carrie Thompson were recently named the Student Ambassador Teacher of the Year. I see Miss Hutchins back there and some people pointing to her. Is Carrie here? So I know that Miss Hutchins loves to talk in front of others. So do you just want to share just a little bit of what it's meant to you? And I know you hate it, but
It truly does mean a lot to me. But, you know, I'm surrounded by greatness, and that's enabled me to do the things that I'm able to do with my students. So a lot of support, a lot of teamwork at West Marion every day. So
I will say
it's a great place to
Ms.
work.
Hutchins is a fantastic educator. We have a lot of fantastic educators in this district, but if you are in her classroom, I don't care what she's teaching about. You want to be a part of it. You want to learn what it is that she's teaching. She is phenomenal and just embodies what educators should be. So I just want to say congratulations and how proud we are of you. Carrie's not here, but she's also fantastic, and I would say similar things about her as well. So our high school seniors recently visited our elementary schools, and you can see some pictures there. Again, just to see them go back to the elementary schools and to see how those students look up to them, it's pretty special. And then finally, our Dolly Parton Imagination Library, 621 active and 1,596 graduated.
All right, well, moving on to item 3C is our student recognition while everybody's here. So, Mr. Brady, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so the first group of students that we're going to recognize, and if you don't mind, when I call your name, just to come up front, we'll get a picture with you. So we're going to recognize our Governor's Scholars Program. So Miss Ellie Akers, Harper Blake, Kenneth Lanham, Addison Logston, Max Phillips, Grayson Rucker, and Landon Spaulding. Congratulations, you all. Any of you all want to talk about it? I mean, I know you're all just dying to. Ellie, I know you want to say something.
I think most of us, if not all of us, got our letters to see where we go in our focus group, and I got center.
Oh, awesome.
It's the second session, and my focus area is political and legal issues.
Have the rest of you all gotten your letters?
Yeah.
Well, sure, tell us where you're going then.
I'm going to Moorhead, and my focus area is philosophy.
I'm going to Murray, and my focus area is film studies.
I'm going to Moorhead, and my focus study is journalism and mass media.
I'm going to center, and my focus area is biological and environmental issues.
I'm going to Murray, and my focus area is political and legal issues.
I'm going to center for astronomy.
Well, congratulations, you all. We're proud of you. I don't believe Blake Newton, is he here? Okay, well, he was chosen for the Governor's School for the Arts. So, Governor's School for Entrepreneurs, Sophia Wheatley, is she here? All right, I see her coming up. Congratulations. We're proud of you. So next we'll recognize Glasscock Elementary School STLP winners. We have Alex Jackson, Nolani Maldonado, Kai Maldonado, and Owen Routon. Oh, Miss Burke. Come on up here. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to hold that or get a picture. Congratulations, you all. You want to say anything about it?
This this team was the UK Engineering Glass Art team, and our challenge was to design a robot that is functional, that can solve a real world problem.
Do you think you accomplished that?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think so too, clearly. So, nice job. So next we're going to recognize Miss Brooklyn Day. So she's a senior. She qualified for a HOSA national competition after finishing top 3 in the state. She'll compete in the home health aid competition in Indianapolis this summer. So we are very proud of her. Brooklyn, you want to talk about that experience? And what you'll do next?
So for state competition, I first had to qualify for the, because it was in 2 stages. The first one was a written test, just general like CNA skills, and then I qualified in the highest scores for that. And then I moved on to the second round, which was a skills-based portion. So I had to perform skills on a person in a like home-based setting. It was basically a hotel room, and I had to hit all of the little checkpoints for that and finish that up. And what I have to do next is for nationals, I have to take another written exam, qualify, and then compete in Indianapolis. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully win.
Absolutely. We're proud of you. Okay. So next we'll recognize boys basketball. I am not sure who all is here for that, but well, let's get them in here. We've outgrown this room a bit tonight, but we'll make it work. Nobody's here for boys basketball. All right, man. Girls basketball, you're up next. Do you want to talk about your season and say anything?
Yeah. Obviously, I come from the era where we were really up here, and not saying that we're not really up there now, but I just want everybody to know in the community that I'm grateful to have the job and that we're working. We're putting in the work already. I know the season don't start till October, but we're on our 2nd month of work. You know, I got kids that are behind me, and that's why they're here tonight. I shoot out messages, they show up for me, and as soon as we take this picture of Mr. Brady, we're going to practice right now. So just know that we're working. Just know that we're working, and we appreciate all the support for sure.
Thank you all for coming. Are any members of our swim team? Okay, I see one back there. So swim team, come on up. You all want to say anything about being on the swim team?
It's really been an honor to be on the swim team. I have such an amazing team, and they've just been very supportive, and it just feels like family.
Awesome.
And I just have a little shout out from the coach that he said the girls were the regional runner-up for the first time in school history, and that we had 7th graders and middle schoolers breaking records right here, and all kinds of wonderful things happening.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that.
I'm an assistant coach. I just
Well, come on over here.
Basically, I'm the middle schooler.
That's okay. You're good.
Thank you all. So next we have track. Yeah, we can get a picture first.
So I'm Coach Sam, this is my assistant, Coach Sandra. We were lucky enough to get 2 new assistants this year. I have Brittany Netherland, who is my jumping coach, and Daniel Smith, who is our throwing coach. And I cannot tell you the differences that it has made this year for us to have, for myself and Sandra, to have the help and have an actual full coaching staff. We go to a lot of the other meets, and Greene County has like 20 coaches. It's crazy. And you know, when there was just 2 of us or 3 of us, it's been really hard. So they come to us from track. They competed in track, and so they know what they're doing. And it shows because we have our jumpers are jumping farther, and our throwers have been absolutely amazing this year. I mean, they're throwing 20, 30, 40 feet farther than they were throwing before. So I'm absolutely grateful to have found them and that they have joined with us to make this team good. And you mentioned field day. Those 2 were actually took both one of the girls' day and the boys' day to actually recruit. And I know that they're 4th, 5th graders, but we are actually now accepting 6th graders into track. They cannot compete as a 6th grader. They have to be 7th grade to compete. But if we can get them in and train them in the 6th grade to compete in the 7th grade, obviously that puts us a little, ahead. Because I'll be honest, a lot of the schools around us are going more to having a middle school track team and a high school track team where we're training them all. So that's going to give us a little benefit getting them in younger. So we are definitely heavily recruiting. I do want to introduce the ones that came tonight. This is Judah Perry. He's this graduating senior, and I think three years of track.
3 years.
Yeah, it took a little while to talk him into it from cross country.
Because I did it when I was too young to compete in some of the meets.
Yeah, so took a little bit, but he ended up being extremely amazing and one of our top relay runners along the front of the mile. And Piper Jones, graduating senior, and God bless her, she got to compete a couple times and messed up a toe, not at track. So, but she's been with me since I started coaching, and actually she's one of the reasons that I did start coaching. So glad to have her. I'm going to go to Marley Gordon next. She is actually an 8th grader from St. A, so she was not able to compete at regions. And I do want to say she has been a phenomenal addition to our team, and I can't wait until she's at high school. Because she's gonna be one of them that helps take our relay teams back to state. I have no doubt. When she was unavailable to compete, Haley Tolliver stepped in, and cross country girl who never thought she would like track, who kind of drug into track, because if they don't play another sport, it's track and cross country kind of complement each other, keeps them in shape one for the other. And she stepped up with the relay teams and helped them still win, even though she hadn't done relays before. I think she liked it. And then Bella Lee came to me from cross country. She finished her volleyball season and kind of joined a track a little late in the season, and found out she absolutely loves it. But as a long distance runner, most of our kids sprint, so it's refreshing to have somebody that come in and actually want to do, more long distance runs. And in doing so, her first season broke the school record for the 3,200. And I'm extremely, extremely proud of her for that, and I can't wait to see what she's going to do next. So, and we thank everybody for their support and the school board for their support. We probably don't need some more equipment. I'm just
All right, on that note, thank you all.
And yes, and so we're very excited for what's going to come with our season, because we are a very young team. We lost 3 seniors. Talia Hall couldn't be here, but she's our 3rd senior. But our team was dominantly a younger. A lot of 8th graders, and dominantly female. We need to start recruiting some of these boys to jump and throw and run. So we're excited for this next year just because we have so many more training options, and we're ready. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Awesome. Moving on to item 3D is more good news with our education scorecard.
so this evening, Dr. Gibson and myself and others want to share with you a report that was released nationally last week, and it's called Education Review.
And researchers from Harvard, Dartmouth, and Stanford did a massive national study of schools coming out of COVID. You probably heard before the concept of COVID decline, where students really lost a lot of academic ability during that time. And they wanted to study how schools were basically bouncing back from COVID. And the way they did it was they based it off of 2022 going forward. And they took state reading and math data. They combined it with national test data, namely the NAEP, the National Assessment of Educational Progress, which any school receiving title funds has to take. So they took those, they combined it into a metric, and based on those metrics, Marion County scored not just one of the highest bounce backs in Kentucky, but highest academic performance coming out of COVID nationally. And we're really proud and honored to be recognized for it. So this is the way it looks. Of course, you can see the decline all the way to 2022. We hit 2022 and bounced back. That's what they're basing us on, is that 2022 onward.
This is our trend data for reading, and you'll see 2022, we were pretty low. This upward trend, I feel like, is very much due to our focus on literacy instruction over the past 4 years, specifically on high-quality instructional resources, science of reading training. We've had over 44 teachers and administrators become letters certified, so we're really proud of that. So I just think that trend really reflects the work that's been done.
We've been interviewed a couple of times by different journalists, so tonight we have people here to basically speak further on the things that they were interested in learning more on and what we focused on in those interviews.
So one highlight of the report was our us adopting high-quality instructional resources or curriculum and utilizing data and instruction. So as Dr. Gibson said, we kind of have voices from the field tonight to explain some of this. And one of the first things that we did was adopt a K-8 reading program. And Ms. Kathy Marion, one of our instructional coaches, is going to tell you more about that.
So this year we kind of transitioned into the Amplify for K through 5 is CKLA, and then it's Amplify ELA for the 6 through 8. But before starting CKLA, our basic reading instruction was standard, teach one standard at a time, teach a standard to mastery. With CKLA, it's more focused on that science of reading, so focusing on bundling the standards, having that literacy, all that literacy taught together. So one thing that CKLA does is it spirals and it bundles those standards together. So bundling those standards, that way you can have a unit where you have those standards taught together, and then you spiral and you're continuing that throughout. It's also a knowledge building curriculum, and that is one big thing for this program. It builds from kindergarten through 5th grade, and then continuing through 6th through 8th. So as it builds, these kids are learning vocabulary, they're learning, continuing to grow from kindergarten through 5th grade, and then even through middle school. So as an instructional coach, I go in with teachers, I do unit and lesson internalization. We sit down together, we look at, okay, what is the primary focus for this lesson? What am I going to need these students to be doing by the end? What are some of the, some things that they might have challenges with? So I'm looking at all those things while I'm sitting down with teachers. And then also, going to co-teach with the teachers as well as model for the teachers for the students. So going into one particular instance where the background, talking about building that background knowledge, I went into a 2nd grade classroom, did a co-taught with a teacher. So we were teaching about the Civil War. And as we talked about the Civil War, the word colonist came up. This was a vocabulary word that those students were going to be expected to know by the end of the year, or by the end of the unit. So as we taught that lesson together, it was very evident those kids knew what the word colonist was. So a few days later, I'm in a 4th grade classroom, and the word colonist is in an extended response question that I'm modeling for the students. So, with this being a knowledge building curriculum, at this point, this is our very first year doing this, so those kids didn't have that word in the 2nd grade then. So the expectation with CKLA was they're gonna know this word colonist, but those kids did. So we had to kind of see, there's gonna be misconceptions at this point in the game, but this knowledge building curriculum is going to be a great thing because these kids are going to know this. Another important benefit of CKLA is the equity that it brings to our district. It doesn't matter the background of the students, it doesn't matter the level, because everyone is learning the same thing. Everyone is that meaningful knowledge building experience. It helps create that consistency across our district. So now that we're finishing our first year of CKLA, we're going to get feedback from the teachers to see what we need to do to continue so that we can have this strong building curriculum.
Ms. Fran Taylor is going to tell you a little bit about our adoption of the Envisions math curriculum at the middle school.
I'm Fran Taylor, I'm the 6th grade math teacher at Marion County Middle School, sorry. I just started 2 years ago, so I'm not sure what we did before I was here, but I've been using Savvis or Envision in my classroom, as well as a strategy called Building Thinking Classrooms, and it's really cool because they kind of bounce back and forth together. Building Thinking Classrooms is essentially having students see a problem and solve a problem before they really know the correct way to do it, the way I would teach it. But Savvis has some really cool starting prompts for each lesson that we use. I use the workbooks a lot, and I can't always use all of the workbook because it gets pretty in-depth pretty quick, but we'll break it down. We'll do 5 to 6 questions a day, and the rigor of the math problems is there for the kids, and it breaks it down. It starts pretty simple and it'll do step-by-step for the kids, and then by the end of that lesson, there's some test-based questions that are really similar to what they might see on any standardized test, end of the unit assessments, and even I see it on already some, so they get to see those types of questions throughout the whole unit. They see it on our test, they see it on already, and then they again see it identity on KSA and things like that. Middle school and high school use Savvis, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, we're still learning how to use it and use it the best we can, but I've tried to incorporate as much as I can, especially with that strong rigor. Even if it's not all 26 problems a day, we're seeing at least 5 or 6 a day for our kids.
One other area that was highlighted in the report was our instructional coaches and how we've kind of remodeled what that looks like at the district level. Made it much more intentional in working with specific teachers and in cycles, and they have been very beneficial in implementing our new HQ hours. And Ms. Jennifer Russell is going to tell you just a little bit about the letters training that both the teachers and some administrators have completed.
So letters kind of takes the background of the science of reading, and it implements into how teachers can use that to impact their classrooms. And so I went through it as an administrator, which is not anywhere close to the depth that the teachers go through. It's a 2-year process for them. For administrators, it's just a 1-year process, just learning about the science of reading and how that should look in the classroom so that we can go and support that when we go into the classrooms to observe and give feedback. And I've just noticed with doing letters, and now seeing Amplify, how they mesh so well together, and it's just really a unified program, and the basis of letters is in Amplify CKLA, which is what we're doing. So everything that the science of reading teaches us in letters, it goes hands in hand with the curriculum that we're using, which is amazing. It helps with our multi-tiered systems of support, all of our tiered programs, just understanding how kids learn and how to better help them in the classroom. So everything we're doing seems very cohesive and unified, and it's working really well together.
One thing, if I could say before we go on, because I think that especially in the interviews, I think that sometimes they think that it's the HQIR, the program that we're using, that really makes a difference. And these are all great programs, but it takes good teaching to get it through. And in the end, philosophically, what we think is good instruction is the most important thing. I mean, not only do you see increased academic performance, but it helps in other areas in the culture of the school. Because if you have good instruction, you have fewer fights, you have fewer discipline issues, you have fewer parent complaints. And if I can go back to Ms. Taylor, who is a phenomenal teacher, and I say that not because I think it, but her data shows it. We were down there a couple days ago, and she's still teaching school like it was the middle of February on the last week, and that's what we want. I mean, that really is really an excellent thing, and I know we were down there, and you're like, hey, get out of here, I'm trying to get the bell ringing. But I appreciated that, I really did, because that's really what we want to see. So I wanted to commend her on that. I thought she does an excellent job, and again, it's not Envision doing that, it's not Sabbath doing that, it's a teacher. So I wanted to make that point. Next up, something we focused on was Ms. Farmer, screen-free days.
So we started implementing screen-free days, not this year, but last year. And that's the last instructional day of every month is the way we've been doing that. So on those days, we do not bring Chromebooks to school. We tell them to keep them at home. We don't have anything they need to do on a Chromebook that day. So you can see some of the pictures there. You know, the one on the right especially, there's a class out using the outdoor classroom, which we're glad to see for more than just playtime or recess. You know, like they're actually doing work out there in the outdoor classroom. And then in the picture on the left, I mean, you can see they've got out some manipulatives and so forth. So what I see on those days are kids truly engaged in what they're learning. I see it challenging teachers to really design a lesson that really truly engages the kids. You know, we don't have that babysitter. We don't have that Chromebook that can sometimes be a babysitter. You know, that's cut out of the picture on those days. You know, they're really practicing those real world skills, I think, collaborating, communicating with one another, and the kids love it. And the teachers love it. You know, I see some of our very best lessons on those screen-free days. So something that we have decided going into next year is it's not going to be once a month, it's going to be once a week. So every Wednesday, that's the day we've chosen, every Wednesday throughout the year, we're not getting out Chromebooks on those days. So we're excited.
As Dr. Gibson said, it's all about good instruction and instructional strategy. So the Thoughtful Classroom Project is something we've been working on for the past 2 years, beginning with some early professional development with a small group of teachers and then going large this year. So we have Samantha Antle, who is an ECE teacher at Glasscock Elementary, who's going to tell you how she uses Thoughtful Classroom tools.
So at the end of last year was my first year teaching, I decided that I need to do something to get my students engaged. So when it came to my class for resource time, they would just sit there, it was so quiet, they were not excited about learning. Well, over the summer, we had training on Thoughtful Classrooms, and I decided I might as well give this a try. So something's got to give. And so I started using Thoughtful Classroom tools in August. Two of the tools that I use are up here. I use a KWL chart, and that helps students, starting off, activate the prior knowledge. So anything that they know, they can put up there. And then what they want to know, they can also put up there. And it was, I don't know, a few months ago, I had students asking me if we could just keep doing that, read our passage, and keep completing it, and then not go to recess. It's like something is really working with this. We also use what's called window notes, and so there's 4 different window panes that we stick notes in. And that helps my students just break down what they have learned, and we can go
at a slow pace, really digging in and analyzing text that we read. And I did bring my data from this past year on my students. Their reading comprehension has increased 61% with my students. Reading fluency has increased 37%. A weekly participation has increased 78%. Already reading, the average point increase was 33 points. And then for already math, my average point increase was 31 points. So I absolutely love these tools. I use them every single day, and anytime anyone walks in my room, you can look on my desk and I have some sort of thoughtful classroom book on my desk using it.
These thoughtful classroom tools can be used K through 12, all ability levels. They are really, really an excellent tool.
So, unfortunately, our leaders aren't getting any younger. So we want to build a leader, kind of an in-house leadership program. So last year we developed an aspiring leader program, and we have two a former aspiring leader and one in our current cohort that's going to tell you a little bit about what they want.
All right, so I went through the first Aspiring Leaders cohort. It was very beneficial for someone that's looking to go into leadership. I'm just going to share a few of the things that we went through. We did a tour of the district facilities, which was very eye-opening. I know that you guys have put in a lot of work on our facilities, and it showed as we toured those. So thank you all for that. We also had a day where central office staff shared their responsibilities to the cohort. And I know that Ms. Thomas said, there's been a disconnect in the past, but sharing the responsibilities was eye-opening, and it lets us know that the support that we have from the central office. So that was a big thing. We also did a book study of John Maxwell's book, and we didn't just read the book and put it to the side. We shared all the things that we could use in the leadership opportunities, not just as a school leader, but also in the classroom. Then we ended with a mock interview, which was extremely nerve-wracking. We sat in here, and of course, with aspiring leaders, we sat on the outside, and we went through that interview process, and then we shared, we did like a plus delta and shared what we could improve on in that. And as Dr. Gibson led with that, he said, you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that just leads into leadership. Like standing up here talking is one of those things. So I'm grateful for these two, for the aspiring leaders, and you all as well for, giving us an opportunity to work together and to improve in our leadership ability. So thank you.
I'm part of the Aspiring Leaders program right now. Kind of piggybacking off what he said, getting to know everyone in the district, especially not being from here, I get to see what all the jobs are and what the facilities look like, and that's been really nice for me to get to know the district a little better, and also learning different jobs. I'm a baby teacher, I say that all the time. I'm still learning, but when I think leadership, I think principal, that's not the only role there is. So it's been nice to see all the different roles that takes place, and excited about maybe to partake in something different than like not just be principal. It might be something along the lines of, I don't know, instructional coaching, assistant principal, and many other jobs at the board that could be filled. So.
Dr. Gibson and I have tried this year to kind of revamp our new teacher program and kind of make it more specialized, individualized to new teachers. So every new teacher has, new to the district teacher, has a mentor. The new to the profession teachers complete 40 hours with their mentor each year throughout the year. And we also send them out into the schools to watch other teachers. So the best PD that there is the teacher next door.
One other picture, can go back, highlighted the $75,000 in district grants that we gave out, and that young man right there is working with our 3D printer, which is has certainly been helpful there. The last quote we have up here is from Bridget Bloom of the Bridget Committee. The remarkable academic gains in Marion County are a direct result of community-wide commitment to rigor, which you heard mentioned here tonight, and that is absolutely true. Evidence-based instruction and professional growth of their educators, and I think she nailed it on that one as far as what we're doing. And I'll say this, I mean, we're going to work even harder now. I can't tell you growth's going to continue in a linear fashion. It may be 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but with the professionals like you've seen tonight, I'm confident we can continue making gains. So I'm really proud of where we've come from and where we're headed.
And I think what you saw highlighted in the education report card is not just the work of one person, one group. It's all of our teachers, all of our staff, and our parents and our students. So we've made great gains over the past 2 years, and we're really proud of them.
So I would echo that sentiment. You all heard me say before, John had, he's an educational researcher. He talks about effect sizes. So in other words, what are the things that you do and what kind of results do you get from doing those things? And collective teacher advocacy has the #1 effect size, and all that really is that everyone's working together toward a common goal. And 4 years ago, when we started talking about how we were going to change and what we were doing with instructional coaches and what curriculum we were going to choose, and we had all of those conversations. But at the end of the day, like Dr. Gibson and Ms. Thomas said, none of that matters if our people aren't all working together toward a common vision and mission. And that's exactly why you see the results that you see here, is because of that collective teacher advocacy. So I couldn't be more proud of our staff and our instructional leaders and what they've been able to accomplish.
Do you have any questions for us?
Awesome job, everybody's done. Couldn't ask for anything better.
It's very evident that with everyone speaking up here, that you guys are on the same team. It's a team that sounds like you want to be a part of. So I think kudos to these firemen. So thanks everybody.
I'm very, very proud. Starting, when I saw that student ambassador interviews and video, I wanted to cry. They cried, and I'm just kind of flabbergasted that they did that. Things like what Ms. Farmer's doing, I think you're on the forefront of a trend. I'm hearing national media and other organizations talk about what we're going to do about being addicted to these screens, and so I think that's a wonderful thing. And then, as I've always felt, it's only about people. The tools are wonderful and used, and you all are using that, and you've highlighted it tonight. And I'm just very proud that we treat our employees well. And I think partly because of that, this is the kind of success we're getting and we're going to keep getting. And thank you all for everything.
Thank you all for your support.
I would echo what everybody has said, and especially what you said, Dr. Gibson, that I think the gains that we're seeing now, it's just a wonderful example of what can happen when staff feel supported, respected, valued, and they're given the resources they need to be successful. That's what's possible when you truly respect the people who are in the classrooms doing the work every single day. And so there's been, news of this report traveled fast, and there were lots of opportunities to take credit. The credit is yours alone. Our staff, our students, it is yours alone, because you all are doing the work every single day. And I think this group up here, we can provide you with resources, but it's in the execution where that jump and that spike comes from. So thank you all for the work that you're doing every day. It's just phenomenal to see, and just to sit back and hear everybody talk. Like my face hurts from smiling so much. So thank you all for all that you do. It is truly appreciated. Moving on to item 3E is our attendance and enrollment report.
That's hard to follow.
One day.
That is an exciting part of mine. So the enrollment as of yesterday at Calvary, they had 308. When we had preschool there were 36 preschoolers, and they had a total of 344. At Glasscock Elementary, before preschool's last day, We had 342 if we included their 20 preschoolers. It was 362 at Lebanon Elementary, 274 with 19 preschoolers for a total of 293. At West Marion, 359 students, 39 preschoolers, makes for a total of 398. At Lebanon Middle School, their enrollment is 309, and at Marion County Middle, it's 282. Marion County High School has an enrollment of 809 students, while QC Spalding Academy has 186 for a total of 2,983 students. This is a comparison of our enrollment. It's May 20th compared to September. We have 2,983 compared to 3,014 in September, and that's a difference of 31 students. Our April attendance was much better than March at 94.81. Thank goodness. Our year to date was still a tiny difference from April this time last year, but it was at 93.84. Really close last year. This time it was 93.88. You'll notice we have spurts of red, but mostly green. This is from April 16th through Wednesday. We have completed 169 days with 1 day remaining, 6 snow days and 7 MTI. As of Wednesday, we had 160 homeschool students. Our food pantry update, it was opened on this past Saturday and then Tuesday night. On Saturday, we had 5 families visited the pantry. On Tuesday night, we had 10 for a total of 15 for the month of May. So throughout when we started in December, and then all the way until Tuesday, we had families visiting over 120 times. Do you have any questions for me?
Is the food pantry open during the summer?
It will not be because of our summer feeding like Miss Wheeler will do. So, thank you.
All right, moving on to item 3F is our finance report.
We're going to look at the month of April as we're closing the month of May. Much the same as we've talked about the last few months, very much the continuous trend. Overall, our revenue is up about $250,000 compared to this time last year. Scroll down to the expenses, again, much the same as we got the extras has gone away and the raises and whatnot. The big one there to point out is even with the fuel costs going up, our transportation is still in the white, $222,000. But a lot of it, this time last year, we were starting to air condition the buses, so we don't have that expense this year. So overall, our expenses are up $1.3 million, minus receipts, we're about $1 million difference, but we're still on that projector to be about flat. So we're basically spending what we're taking in this year. Any questions?
All right, moving on to item 4, student learning services. I need a motion on item 4A, please.
Make a motion to consider approval of the fiscal year 2027 certified appeals panel.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 4B.
Make a motion to consider approval of 2026-2027 preschool start date and end date.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Moving on to item 5, I need a motion on item 5A.
Move to consider approval of 2025-26 KDE audit contract.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5B.
Move to consider approval of 26-27 school fees. I don't have the attachment, but it's attached somewhere to this.
Second.
Mr. Brady, you want to talk about?
Yeah, so only one change on this document, and that's Skills USA at the ATC. Ms. McCray, I believe, is that $25, I think?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the only change. Everything else is the same as it was last year.
And as we like to stress each year, school fees do not have to be an obstacle to children participating, so there's always an avenue for kids to get involved in whatever they choose to be involved in. So, any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5C?
Make a motion to consider approval of fiscal year 27 tentative budget.
Second.
Scott, Chris, is there anything you want to discuss here?
So, second step of the budget process, you all approved the draft back in January. This gives us a little bit more. The big thing here is we incorporate the things we talked about at the April budget work session on April 23rd. It does reflect a 7.1% increase. We'll approve the salary schedule at the June, and any changes between salary schedule and anything else that comes up, including tax rate and updated seat in September, will be part of that working budget. So it's about a $26 million receipt and expenses budget we're looking for general fund alone.
Question? All in favor? Aye. Moving on to item 5D. Need a motion.
Make a motion to consider approval of 2627 Halton's Insurance Group for property, general liability, inland marine, crime, vehicle, errors, emissions, SM&L, law enforcement, workers' compensation, cyber liability, and umbrella for $790,197.10.
Second.
Mr. Brady, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so we received notice months ago that we were expected to see premium increases in excess of 25 to 30%, which, I mean, obviously that would be a significant issue. We met with Houchins and worked through that process. We're very fortunate that we were able to work with a different company to it is still an increase. Last year we spent $740,712.79 to be exact. And then this year, of course, $790,000. So we're looking at about a $50,000 increase. But quite honestly, you know, we were looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential increases. It's not unique to Marion County. It's something that schools across the United States are encountering, just skyrocketing premiums, just because there's a lot of liability in educating children. Honestly, we're probably pretty fortunate to see the quote here that we have here, and I'm pleased that it's not more than it is, honestly.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Moving on to 5E. Need a motion, please?
Make a motion to consider approval to declare the Dream Bus surplus property.
Second.
Mr. Brady, you want to?
Yeah, so I can talk about that. So the Dream Bus is a 98 model, so it is 28 years old. It's starting to have some mechanical issues, some rust. The exterior is fading. With the way we do summer feeding now, quite honestly, we don't have the need for it like we used to. I do agree, there's a little bit of sadness that comes with it, but it's just not a need, honestly, that we have anymore. I mean, with its age, it's just time, unfortunately.
I mean, I think it's been, several years ago, it was an exciting innovation for our school district, and so you all know that innovation is what we love to do here, so if there's an opportunity to pick up and re-envision the Dream Bus, then absolutely. You know, we would, I think we would be supportive of that, so please don't feel like this is the end of an era, but not the end of reaching kids in a new way, so,
And I will add one thing, you know, we've had to scale back our summer programs just because of the way the rules are with summer feeding. So you can't have an extensive summer program and feed children and then do summer feeding. You have to choose one or the other, and our families really like the summer feeding program, the way we do it with the drive-through, and so, you know, we've had to scale back some of the programs, such as the Dream Bus, to meet the eligibility requirements for the summer feeding. So that's part of it too.
absolutely. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5F, please?
Move to consider approval of the agreement with Fayette County Schools for bus driver testing.
Second.
Any questions here?
Is that where they go over?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So it's we've had it with Greene County, and this just gives us another avenue.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5G?
Make a motion to consider approval to accept bids for asphalt paving for bus garage attachment 3.
Second.
All in favor? Need a motion on item 5H, please.
Make a motion to consider approval to award the bid for asphalt paving for bus garage to Hayden Materials for a base bid of $199,250 with the alternate of $9,375.
I'll second.
So the alternate is just to repave the loop, they'll mill it down and repave that so that it's all the same.
And where does this start at?
It's gonna be behind the bus garage, so all that's in gravel.
Okay, so it's not a repaving, it's just the new.
Just the loop is a repaving, everything else is new.
Gotcha.
And you wanna talk about what
Yeah, so
what led
we,
to this?
yeah, so we saw this as a significant need when we hit the ice storm, and we worked, and our bus garage, folks worked, our maintenance people worked, and we worked some more, just because of the gravel, the ice just didn't wanna leave that gravel, and, this will be just a really nice addition to our bus garage. We've talked about it for years, and it's honestly been a need, but the ice storm really just highlighted just how important that was, and it will be very nice to have behind the bus garage.
Great. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5I, please.
Move to consider approval of the BG4 for the Marion County Public Schools parking lot, BG 25-345.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5J. I'll make a motion to consider approval of the final pay applications for the Marion County Public Schools parking lot BG 25345.
Second.
Questions here? All in favor? Motion on item 5K, please.
Consider approval of the BG4 for the Marion County Middle School partial roof replacement, BG 24-119.
Second.
Questions? All in favor? Need a motion on item 5L.
Make a motion to consider approval of the BG4 for the Marion County ATC partial roof replacement, BG 24-118.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5M.
Make a motion to consider approval of the revised BG1 for the Marion County ATC renovation and addition, BG 25-341.
Second.
What's the
That's just to
revised?
update the numbers to the exact numbers now that we have those. Anything else on that, Scott?
No, it's just, exactly what Mr. Brady said. The initial was an estimate, the revised and included, we had the bids in, so there's just updating that to that bid number.
So we have drills moving in and,
They
okay, great.
made a lot of progress this week.
All right. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Need a motion on item 5N, please.
Move to consider approval of software agreement with Train for July 1st, 2026 to June 30, 2029.
Second.
You want to talk about what this is?
Yes, that's our HVAC controls, something we've had for quite some time.
That's correct. The three-year agreement that's currently ends June 30th for this year, so it's just updated.
Is that in every facility?
Yes.
Training?
All our schools, all 8 schools, including those across there.
Other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Need a motion on item 5O.
Make a motion to consider approval of fiscal year 27 fidelity bond for board treasurer in accordance with KDE regulations.
Second.
Questions? All in favor? Need a motion on item 5P.
Make a motion to consider approval for contract with Links Transportation Solutions for 26-27 in the amount of $3,883.25.
Second.
You want to talk about this?
Yeah, so we have a program currently at the bus garage that, quite honestly, we've just maxed it out. We don't get support for it anymore. There's no one that can work on it when we have errors. It's just way beyond its life expectancy. And so this program will replace it. The good thing about Links is not only does it do the transportation side as far as the bus garage, but it also allows us to integrate with Infinite Campus, and it communicates with Infinite Campus for our T codes. So we receive transportation funding through the SEEP funding formula based on how students are transported, whether we're transported, no transportation, which would be an NT, and then T1 transported two ways, both to and from, more than a mile, less than a mile, and there are all these different T codes, and each student is assigned a T code, and then we receive reimbursement based on that. So this software will integrate with Infinite Campus and help us to better monitor that. Our hope is that it will be something that ends up more than paying for itself because of that reimbursement that I mentioned earlier. Scott, anything you want to add to it?
It's more comprehensive. We seeked out to replace the mechanic side, and this software does all that and then some. And LaRue County has it. We went over and monitored there during spring break and watched it and looked at it. And Dr. Emmons looked at it to make sure it qualifies to everything she needs on her network and everything, so we're in good shape.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Moving on to item 5Q, acknowledgement of field trips, so acknowledged, and I need a motion on item 6.
I make a motion to approve student learning and support consent items A through L.
Second.
I want to thank Marion County Farm Bureau for their $1,500 donation to FFA.
And there is one item, did you talk about that? This.
Oh, yeah, I can talk about the parochial transportation contract. We've had some questions about that. So there's several KRSs about this, and
Sorry,
so.
item 6J, what you're looking for.
Yeah, sorry, the parochial St. Augustine transportation contract, been some questions about that. So we're not able to pay for the transportation, but we can contract with physical court so that they can pay for it and then they will be reimbursed from the state. It's just the way the laws are written to allow transportation to flow back to the school district. So that's essentially what that contract's about. Anything you want to add to that, Scott?
No, it's been in place for many, many, many years.
For a long time, Okay. All in favor? Aye. Moving on to item 7, acknowledgement of personnel actions, so acknowledged, and I need a motion on item 8, please.
Make a motion to go into closed session under KRS 61.8.01F for discussion or hearing which might be disciplinary.
Second.